Hello, everyone. So, came across the story, and I thought it would be interesting to read it because, all right, I remember seeing something about this. I never really watched what it was about, but it's just like this weird story about this 22 or something year old woman that looks like a child. And just ran into an update about that. So it says, I am Shauna Ray. Shauna Ray gives an update on her life. All right. I am Shauna Ray, star. Oh, that was the name of the show? Jesus. There was an entire show about a chick just being tiny. Could have just done one like little episode. Um, Star Shauna Ray talks about what life has been like since appearing on the TLC reality show. Shauna Ray says she's ready to become independent and start living life on her terms. Here's the update she shared. Shauna Ray explains why she decided to do I Am Shauna Ray. Uh, Shauna Ray discusses her reasons for appearing on I Am Shauna Ray. Her decision mostly stemmed from her desire to help and encourage others. Huh? To do what? I wanted to do the show because growing up, I didn't see anyone like me. Yeah, no shit. Like how many? There's there's Gary. What was it? Gary Coleman? You're probably too young to have seen that show, but I mean, there was him, and who else? I mean, people. Says Shauna during an interview with Tamron Hall. I want to show anyone who feels different or feels like they were put in a category to show them that they can bust out of that category despite what anyone thinks. What category did you bust out of? You're still one of the little people. I don't, what? And no matter what, there's always going to be someone out there that is supportive of you and wants you to do your best. Yeah, chick, that's your parents and your family. What are you talking about? Oh boy, stupidity really rubs me the wrong way. Shauna Ray on why she changed her last name. She did what now? Shauna Ray recently changed her last name. She chose to stop using the last name Lessick. She explained she never felt connected to the name. The fuck? Uh, You're genetically related to those people, so yeah, you're connected to it. I don't know what feeling you're trying to have. I never felt like I was Shauna Ray Lessick. It was your name. It's a designation that identified you. So what else would you fucking feel like? John C. Riley? You dumb. When I got the name change, I didn't know how big of a deal it was going to be. It really put my path in the past and made my future more of a reality for me. I think you have a child brain as well as a child's body, because that is dumb. Shauna says she's ready to move out of her parents' home and become independent. During the preview for the show, her mother admits it's scary to think about her daughter moving to New York City. You're going to move all the way to New York City. I mean, considering your size, apartments might be a little bit more comfortable. Um, Mentally, emotionally, I definitely think I'm ready to live on my own, but I do feel overwhelmed. Okay. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Yeah, that's probably why you feel overwhelmed. During their Entertainment Tonight interview, Shauna's sister Riley says she's not worried about her moving out, but she's concerned about her sister's safety. Yeah, she's going to New York City, but I hope she doesn't take subways. A first apartment is never fully safe. Yeah, no shit. No, these people are like masters of stating the obvious. One big step towards independence for Shauna is dating. Yeah. She has been meeting with a matchmaker. Her parents are nervous because they worry about a man who might want to date their daughter for the wrong reasons. What are the right reasons? Huh? Because it needs someone to eat ice cream with? The only reason the man is dating a woman is for fucking. So, what's his angle? Says Mark, Shauna's stepfather. They could pretend to be anybody. The fuck does that mean? Talking about pedophiles? Who would they pretend to be besides people that are not pedophiles? Maybe they'll pretend to be Shauna Ray Lessick. That's available. In TLC's I Am Shauna Ray trailer, we see that Shauna is talking to a man from Wales named Dan. So she goes on a date with a man who has pituitary dwarfism. Oh, God. The children. That results from that unholy union would be some form of a fantasy creature. Shauna shared what she hopes for the future during her interview on Entertainment Tonight. She says she wants to pursue a career where she can make a difference in the world. Like what? Listen, this is the thing that people need to understand. None of you are making a difference because the world is working just fine without you, which means adding you to it doesn't change anything. Because if you didn't do whatever you were going to do, someone else would. I think my career goals are to ultimately make the world a better place in some sense. When people say that, I'm always get suspicious. When people say make the world a better place, that means make the world in a way that they want it to be. But this is the thing. You making the world a place that you want it to be would piss other people off because they don't want it that way. The reason the world is not perfect is because there are too many conflicting visions. And it is the way it is exactly because different people have different opinions about things. If any one person complete their vision of how a perfect world, it would be hell for a lot of people. So let the world be imperfect because it's perfectly suited for many different opinions and many different point of views. Is the exactly way the world is now is exactly how it should be to satisfy a majority of people. All right, says Sean. She says she wants to help both people and animals. God damn. Well, she's dreaming big. I mean, both people and animals. Um, you give people a TV show and all of a sudden they're fucking superheroes. Um, one career goal that's high on her list is to become a veterinarian. Well, that's the animal part. Get pet owners are going to be helped. There's that job requires schooling, and she's planning to move to the city. And yeah, Shauna also says what. Also, another factor is how long of a lifespan is she going to have? I don't. I mean, if you're planning for the future and you have limited time left, you might want to shorten your goals to something less world breaking, like changing said world. Shauna also says she's interested in fashion and helping people who are unable to find clothing that fits them properly. If you're unless you're planning to create those clothing, if you could find it, they can find it as well. So uh oh, I guess that's the end of that. All right. Well, let's see what else we got here. Opinion. How a missed period reported by the gym teacher could spell trouble for girls. The hell? As a physician, a public health professional, and a parent of a teenage girl, I've been following news about a Florida school district's decision to digitize kids' school athletic records with interest and with concern. What is happening? Big mouth. All right. Megan Rae, courtesy of Megan Rae, what should be a simple decision about medical best practice has been turned into a guardian knot of not just health, but also policy, politics, and technology and bodily autonomy. It's a lot of words to say nothing. Being active is obviously important for kids in general. If it's obvious, why are you saying it? We should do everything we can to encourage all youth to engage in physical activity. We? Why don't you do that? Whether through organized sports or informal activity, although traditionally women are less likely to be competitive athletes, the number of U.S. high school athletes who identify as female has increased more than tenfold over the last 5 decades. The growth deserves to be supported. But why is that important? Why is it important that there's more people identify as female being athletes? Why don't you just let people that want to be athletes and not like encourage it to be a certain way? Because this is sexist. I mean, you do understand that sexist is not just something that you don't like. It's also a literal definition of a word. And this is sexist. For kids of all genders, well, not all genders, because remember the sexist part. For kids of all genders to safely participate in competitive sports, a consortium of medical organizations have agreed on standardized free sports physical screening and exam. What does this have to do with periods? What is going on? The exact rules and regulations differ between states, but the overarching goal of pre-sports physical is to allow physicians or other appropriate clinics to identify and then mitigate potential harms from youth sports participation. Where is this going? This is just all over the place. The pre-sports evaluation form used by Florida High School Athletic Association and by extension the Palm Beach County School District includes screening for everything from family history of cardiac disorders to concussions, depression, and eating disorders. What? Okay. How do you even screen for all these things? You just ask them questions? Do you have depression? Do you like eating and throwing up? Like, what? These questions are included for good reason. I knew it was questions. They're just going to ask questions. It's not a screening. Competitive athletes of all genders are prone to energy deficiency. You saying getting tired? You use a lot of words that is unnecessary, whether due to disordered eating or due to excessive energy use during practice. Yeah, getting tired. This energy deficiency can cause long-lasting harm, especially for adolescents. Okay, good thing professional athletes have coaches and dietitians to help them through this situation. So it's already been solved. Congratulations. When the energy deficiency is accompanied by amenorrhea, what the hell am I looking at? Lack of period. Oh, Jesus. New word, amenorrhea, lack of a period. How is that different from menopause? It is particularly worrisome as the metabolic and endocrine side effects can weaken athletes' bones, increase the risk of stress fractures, and increase the risk of long-term osteoporosis. So you're saying that female athletes shouldn't be taking testosterone replacements, maybe to transition? I don't think you're supposed to say that because you get canceled. It is therefore medically appropriate to ask athletes. That's why this article is all over the place, because they don't want to say the words and get canceled. Oh, it's a carefully written, sort of hidden. Ooh, they playing games. To ask athletes about signs of disordered eating, amenorrhea, and other signs of physical danger when deciding whether an athlete is safe to practice and compete. This is also the reason the screening form also includes 4 questions for females only about menstruation. However, there is a big difference between a physician or other trained healthcare professional asking these questions in private as part of a clinical assessment and a physician sharing all the details with third parties. I suppose that there would be a difference. It's not big. I mean, it's pretty obvious. One is private and the other isn't. That that some states may share the full physical and screening exam, including information about youth athletes' menstrual cycles, with school districts, state officials, and third-party digital record-keeping companies, is to me deeply worrisome. Why? Why is that information kept? Why does that reveal some deep hidden secret about yourself? Like what? Why would you want to hide that? The structures of the post-Dobbs world, the reality of today's tech world, and the suggestive examples of other instances where these intersections have left women and girls vulnerable could put parents and doctors in an unintended position. What is happening? What are you talking about? What is the concern? From a purely medical perspective, the pre-participating exam forms approved by the American Academy of Family Physicians, American Academy of Pediatrics, and American College of Sports Medicine. Jesus Christ, you're really going to name all these freaking institutions? All right, how do I skip most of this? Specify that only final decision whether or not a position is patient is cleared for sports and whether there are restrictions should be shared with a school district. They specifically comment that the medical exam and screening questions should remain with the evaluating physician, clinician or physician. Why though? This guidance reflects the tremendous importance of protecting the privacy of the patient-physician relationship. Well, they don't have to give out the name, but the information could be useful for tracking a trend or some sort of changes. So they could just keep their other information private, but the cycles, I mean, that could be useful. So why not share that? I don't understand. The confidentiality of clinical discussions is important in general, but all the more so for adolescents. And reproductive and gynecological care, including discussions about menstruation, are appropriately considered to be even more private than, say, a lung, a heart, or knee exam. Why in the fuck, though? Why, though? But my concern about the reported sharing of data goes beyond fears of impairing the patient-physician relationship. The current social, political, and technological environment creates a perfect storm for this information sharing to endanger youth in a myriad of ways. Like what? First, laws regarding reproductive health, gender, and abortion are quickly being rewritten nationwide. Oh, I see. I see what's happening here. They don't want the information to get out because it might suggest that certain new practices that are being conducted and experimented on children might have an adverse effect on them and on their menstruation. So you want wanted to keep this information hidden. I see what's going on here. It's a goddamn cover-up. In Texas and Oklahoma, those states effectively offer a bounty to anyone who reports a suspected abortion. A bounty? In other states, being transgender can result in exclusion from organized sports. So you want to hide that? I don't think that would be helpful. I mean, if it was more public, they can create a new league that includes, so they don't have to be excluded anymore. And one could easily imagine a world in which, if school officials or coaches are expected to follow an athlete's menstrual cycle, some youth would be reported up the chain accurately or inaccurately for missed periods. Why is that bad? I mean, it's health concerns that can help them. For some youth, this reporting could result in inappropriate and invasive gynecological exams. For instance, they might be able to find out about teenage pregnancies, certain hormones that might be affecting them, or even diseases that could also be affecting them, and they could give them the help they need right away. But you're worried more about your certain agendas rather than the health and safety of the children. I see what you're going. For other youth, this could result in them or their parents being charged with a crime, and knowing about a kid's periods potentially puts schools in a position of liability. Second, the security of third-party software systems, such as that being used by districts in Florida, is often dubious. While I can't judge the level of security particular software program is being used in Florida, many of us have previously discussed our concerns about poorly designed, poorly protected period tracking apps. Why is that information so secret? Why? What kind of world disaster is going to happen if that information gets out? Cyber hacking of electronic health records is on the rise. Even the largest, most security conscious healthcare organizations are at risk, and data from reproductive health organizations have specifically been targeted and shared. As soon as we share menstrual data with digital application, we must also worry about it being accessed by those with nefarious intentions. I doubt that most school systems are ready for these legal and security risks. Finally, as a mother of a teenager and a former high school athlete myself, I cringe at the thought of a coach, even with the best of intentions, following a child's menstrual cycle for signs of misperiods. I doubt they would personally be following, because who the hell wants to just watch someone's cycle? No, they'll just be alerted if there's a change or something. It's not. Even in my state, which protects abortion as health care, albeit with parental consent, this kind of tracking would be embarrassing at best and invasive at worst. Whatever. And my worries would be far greater if I were in a state that limited my own and my children's reproductive rights. Well, you didn't abort your child, but you want your child to be able to abort your grandkids. I'm glad that Palm Beach County has reconsidered this dangerous policy and asked that questions about menstrual history be removed from Florida's pre-sport evaluation form. Here's hoping that Florida High School Athletic Association listens and does what's right for the sake of kids, parents, and coaches in schools. This does not help either one of these things. That was enlightening and rather strange. I was not expecting all of this nonsense when I started doing this, but there you have it. Until next time.